on Facebook and Craigslist.
So you don't even need your own money to get started.
You basically don't need your own money. You need a 680 plus credit score, apply for 0% business cards, use that money to get into properties.
People don't know this is real, that you could actually make $100,000 in a month, $50,000 in a month, or even $10,000 in a month.
Yeah, I make my listings through ChatGPT, setting up titles, descriptions, 20 minutes, boom, in and out. My biggest piece of advice would be, and I think this stops a lot of people, and it stopped me for years, is caring what other people think. Whatever you want to chase, you have to go after, because if you don't, you're gonna regret it, and regret's probably one of the worst feelings to have.
Welcome to another episode of Elite Entrepreneur. My guest, Daanish Azim.
Appreciate you having me on, my brother.
Thanks for coming on, bro. I know you came from Florida just for this podcast.
Yes, sir.
So I know you're a really good friend of mine, Daanish Azim. But for the audience, who is Daanish Azim and what do you do?
Yes, a little bit about myself. I'm 28 years old, originally from Chicago, but moved out to Florida less than a year ago. But a little bit about myself. I mean, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18, 19 years old, and I've done a very different amount of businesses, tried a bunch of things, but for the last 2-3 years, I've been focused on the Airbnb business and been teaching other people as well inside of the Airbnb business.
That's awesome, brother. So before Airbnb, what did you do?
So I've done a bunch of stuff. So when I was 18 years old, I realized that I hated school, and I pretty much, my first side hustle / business was basically reselling phones. I literally found my first phone. I put it on eBay as a joke, like didn't think it was real. I bought it for $80. I remember it was like a Motorola X back then. This is probably 7 or 8 years back minimum. And I listed it on eBay and I sold it for $160. So I made $80. Awesome. I shipped it out. I'm like, this literally took 20 minutes of my time. And I was like, there's friends of mine that are working a little McDonald's job or something and they're making $8 an hour.
No, that's awesome. I have a very similar story too. I hate school. I feel like we all hate school. Nobody likes this, the system of going to school for 4 years, taking immense amounts of loans out just so you get a 9-to-5 job and pay it back.
Exactly.
I have friends that are still in debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I feel like if you're going to be a doctor, engineer, or lawyer, then yeah, go to school.
Yep.
But if you're going to school just to make $60,000, $80,000 a year, I feel like there's a lot of side hustles out there that you can make that, same amount. Yeah, I used to sell phones too, bro. I used to have a cell phone shop. I had 4 cell phone shops. I started with one, but the thing is I didn't have an actual real cell phone shop. I had a cell phone shop in a flea market. So I used to sell and I learned Spanish. I was like, a ver tu teléfono, por favor, un momento, video screen protectors. I was learning Spanish while trying to sell this stuff because I was in a Hispanic crowd. Yeah. So how long did you do the cell phone stuff?
So I honestly I was really focused on reselling phones from the age of 18 to 21.
Gotcha.
But I never had a store, nothing. I think I've sold over $500,000 of phones, literally just selling on Facebook and Craigslist.
That's awesome, bro.
And there was another website I used to use online called Swappa.
Did you use the OfferUp?
OfferUp as well at one point.
Yeah, I did OfferUp. A lot of local meetups. I used to be scared, bro.
Yeah, I've experienced it all. Like when I was doing it, I probably had a few phones stolen from me.
You ever had a gun pulled on you?
Not a gun, but I've had someone check the phone and run off.
Oh, wow.
So I've seen it, but out of 500 phones I sold, I probably had 2 or 3 bad experiences.
That's crazy. And then what I figured out, I was like, you know what? I need to meet people at a police station.
They always wanted to do that. I never met them at a police station. I like public places like McDonald's, stuff like that. I used to like.
I had a buddy of mine, and he met him at the police station. He still got robbed.
Yeah, I don't like the police station. I like a public spot.
That's crazy, yeah. And
then feel the vibration, see if everything's good, and then you should be good.
What do you think of everyone talking about the economy, how we're in a recession?
So, I think it's definitely there, but I think everyone, yes, the economy on a major scale, probably yes, it might be in a recession, but I think no matter where you're at, there's enough opportunities for you to make your own money.
So talk about your opportunity, brother.
So, for me, I've been doing Airbnb specifically for the last 3 years, specifically more focused on the Airbnb arbitrage, rental model. So this is basically where you rent a property, not buy a property, but you rent a property from a property owner, get their permission to list that property as a short-term rental, and then you're able to furnish it, list it on there, and let's just say as an example, your rent's $2,000 that you pay that property owner every single month, but you list on Airbnb, you make $5,000, subtract that from the $2,000 some other expenses. Let's say the monthly expenses was $2,500, you made $5,000, your net profit's $2,500, and then the best thing is you can scale that very easily once you learn how to do it. So for me, I've been doing it for 3 years, scaled to about 20 properties now that hitting close to 80, 90K a month now in revenue.
So you had 20 properties.
Yep.
Bro, would you break down step by step on exactly how someone would want, someone wanting to get started, people in the audience wants to get started in Airbnb. What are some step by step instructions that you could give someone to get their first rental property?
Yeah, so if you're like someone that wants to do this kind of business, number one, any business that I tell people to do is you gotta get educated. Whether you want to get educated with courses, YouTube videos, Google information, getting into a coaching or mentorship program, you can't do any business if you don't get the information. So number one, you get educated. Number two, when it actually comes to doing the business, you want to create an LLC because you're starting a business. Number two, you want to go ahead and get 0% business credit cards so you don't have to use your personal capital. And then from there, you want to go about researching and analyzing properties. From there, you would go signing a lease, getting the right approval to actually sublease that property. Then you go furnish the property. Then you hire the right team in place. And then you make your listing, and then you start raking in cash.
That's game right there, man. So you don't even need your own money to get started.
You basically don't need your own money. You need a 680 plus credit score, apply for 0% business cards, use that money to get into properties.
That's awesome, brother. How crucial is it to have a coach?
I think it's crucial. So it's two ways, right? They always say that, quote, what is it? That smart people learn from others' mistakes. The uneducated people, they learn from their own mistakes.
That's bars.
It just depends which way do you want to do it. Would you rather make the mistakes, go through trial error, waste time to make things happen, or would you rather pay someone that already has information and do it? Like, what do you think excelled you faster? Do you think it's by getting coaches and mentors, or was it by you learning everything yourself?
Man, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars educating myself, and not just in real estate, in every aspect in life. So you have your health, you got wealth, right? You got relationships. You got family, faith. There's so many different aspects in a life that you need to educate yourself in. People think, oh, I just want to get a mentor in my finances. That's a good start, but eventually you want to get a mentor for every single aspect. And then even for my businesses, right? I have a rideshare company, got a coach for that. Real estate wholesaling, I had a coach for that. And then it came to a point where I had so much knowledge that now we're the coach ourselves, right? Now we're teaching people. And it just like passes down. What happens is now my students are coaching other people.
Exactly.
So it's just like education is priceless.
Priceless, exactly.
Do you think that someone should hire a coach right away, or first get started, get their feet wet, and then hire a coach?
So in my personal opinion, I feel like you should learn the basics about any business. Like before I hired a coach for Airbnb, I was learning free information. Like I was watching YouTube videos. I bought some like small courses, and I'm like, this is not enough information for me to like actually start or feel the confidence to start. So it's all right, let me actually find a coach or mentor that already does this, pay for whatever their coaching program is. That way I can actually learn the details and then have access to like calls with them. So that way I'm not like going through a bunch of trial and error. I always tell people you could go about it either way, but it just depends what type of person you are. 90% of people, you can give them the information, but if they don't pay for something, they don't pay attention.
I feel like all the information, everything that we teach is on YouTube, is on other podcasts, it's in books, it's everywhere.
It's there. But one thing I realized is even though the information is there, that information is not as useful when you're brand new. Like right now, if I go watch YouTube videos about Airbnb, it's going to make a lot of sense for me and I can extract that. But when I didn't know what I was doing, that information just makes me feel like I get over-analysis, like paralysis. Like
analysis paralysis.
Yes, but when you don't know what you're doing, like that's how it happens. But if you already have the information, then yes, the YouTube videos are actually more like crucial and helpful.
100%. A lot of people, they come to me, they're like, oh, I read everything about wholesaling. I'm like, okay, so why did you
not have your first one?
Then it's like the analysis paralysis. You
you
get too educated to where a point where you're like, okay, where do I start now?
You don't have a blueprint with just information.
Exactly. When you hire a coach, I feel like he's like, hey, whatever you learn, throw that out the bag, throw that out the park, We're gonna do this, this, and this, and this. Step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm like, oh wow, it was that easy.
It's a blueprint that you can follow.
It's a blueprint. That's right, brother. So if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
My biggest piece of advice would be, and I think this stops a lot of people, and it stopped me for years, is caring what other people think.
Talk more about that, man.
So give
like an example, bro.
So I mean, a lot of times
like for family, like
family,
they hold you back.
Like you chase business or entrepreneurship, especially if you're in a crowd where like all you've been taught is to go to school, get good grades, eventually get a good job. It's like when you go chase something new, it's like people are gonna say like, why are you doing this? It's not gonna work, because at the end of the day, like in a business, you're starting at zero, so you can't prove results right off the bat. So you always have to have like a faith aspect when you're starting a business. So a lot of times,
you gotta trust in God.
Yeah, a lot of times like you're just
put in the work and trust in God.
100%. Yeah. So I think a lot of times it's like you literally just have to take that step and then kind of silent out the noise and just keep pushing until you get results.
No, that's awesome, man. That's great advice. What's a challenge or failure that taught you something invaluable?
Challenge that I think I had was kind of like challenging my own limiting beliefs, like something's possible. Like at one point when I probably hit my first 10K month was probably, it was when I was selling phones, but it was a side hustle. I didn't have a business mindset, I would say. Was really thinking like 10K a month is a lot. So once you challenge your mindset and like I overcome that obstacle, I'm like 10K is not a lot. Even 50K is not a lot. So once you can actually change your belief levels to thinking like this is not a lot of money, you can actually hit it. But if your belief level is like, oh, 10K is a big milestone, you're going to have a lot of like pressure towards that.
100%. And I feel like the people that you're around
matter.
Right, if you're around people that are making 5, 6, 7, 8K, guess what? You're going to make around the same median.
100%.
Right? So when you're around people that are making 100K in a month, you're like, dude, where am I at? Yeah. And now you learn from them, and then they show you the blueprint on how to get there as well.
100%.
You know, so it's like you need to be around the right people. People that are driving, like for me, it was like, I want to get a Lamborghini. None of my friends drive a Lamborghini. So I got to be around people that have these supercars and then learn from them on how they got it so I could get one as well.
100%.
Right? So like one of my mentors right now, he has 2 skyscrapers. And his name is Kevin. And dude, this guy's a baller. Right?
Yeah.
This guy has like multiple dealerships. I was at dinner with him the other day, and he was telling me, he's like, you know, I just read a lot of books. You know, I educated myself that way, and just being around the right people that are doing what I want to do is how I got there. And I was like, well, you're right, man. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm having dinner with you. You know, I want to buy a skyscraper. And then he's giving me like all these. Thing is, to other people, it's like, wow, these are gems, right? This is like, oh, taking notes. For me, it's just like I'm having normal conversations. While having that conversation, I'm just learning what I need to do step by step. You know? So I feel like no course is really going to get you there. You actually have to be disciplined. You got to have the grit. And nothing happens overnight. You actually need to want it.
I think you got to have that, like that belief level too. So like getting around the right people, like your belief level changes.
Did you have delayed gratification?
100% for years. Like, I mean, if someone was to take a look at my Instagram or like my life now, it's like, yes, I'll go out. I have the nice dinners. I've done stuff for my family. For a period of my life, I didn't go to a single weekend out. I was driving Uber every single weekend. I didn't go out at all. I didn't spend money. I didn't eat $30 dinners. Now it's like, yes, I do that, but for years I didn't do any of that.
100%.
And a lot of people don't see that stuff.
100%. They just see the Rolex on the wrist,
they see that
foreign
stuff.
car. They're like, oh, it's daddy's money.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, what do people say? Did anyone ever say daddy's money to you?
To me, not yet. I haven't hit that level, I would say. But I've had people think like, yo, you probably got money. That's why you're able to do these things. I'm like, I'll be honest. The last time I had my dad give me any money is like since I was 18 years old.
Well, that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
The thing is, people don't know. People don't know that this is real. That you could actually make $100,000 in a month, $50,000 in a month, or even $10,000 in a month. You know. So it's just that limited belief. How does someone overcome that?
I mean, getting around the right people, bro. Like you see people do it, you're like, oh shit, like he's a normal person. Like I've been around Abdullah, he's hit $1 million, you know, like in a quarter month or whatever.
We're normal people, you know.
The normal people, like you say, you get around them, you realize like, wait, there's nothing actually that special about them.
I got blood going through my veins. So does he. So it's like the people. Everyone's a normal
person.
Human,
it's just everything. The only difference, like I tell most people, is just like
the education,
your mindset, your skill sets, and your work ethic. Those are the only 3 things you need.
100%. I know you called me the other day. You're at home. You're like, yo, you're at bed. You're like chilling. You're like, what's up? I'm like, bro, I'm still in the office. You know, with my COO. We're just talking. And it was like, what, 11?
12,
11, 12. We're just, boom, chopping it up, talking business.
The average person's not working at 12.
The average person, he stops at 5.
They're Netflix
That's
at 12.
Yeah. 9 to 5.
Yep.
You know, I tell people, okay, I don't have time. I have this. Okay, you're working at 9 to 5, but what are you doing from 5 to 10?
Yep.
Okay, even if you have 2 hours just for yourself, wife, kids, family, what about from 7 to 10?
Yep.
Even if you put an hour in every single day for the rest of your life, you're gonna see a change.
Something build up.
100%. Change something in your life. Even
100%.
if you're putting that hour in fitness or hour in, your health, your wealth, your faith, you're going to see, you're going to see a change.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so tell me about, I know you're a good reader. You're a big reader, right? So tell me. You try to be? What's the most recent book you've read?
My most recent book, I'm going to be honest, I haven't been reading as much as I used to when I first got into my entrepreneurship journey. One book that I think I recently read was called The One Thing. I forgot who the author was. It was a book that I actually literally bought after watching a video by Ty Lopez. He was like, if you guys are going to pick up any book, and this was in 2025, he was like, read The One Thing. Bought it from eBay the next day, picked it up, I read. I haven't finished it, but I read most of it. And the main focus is focus on one thing. A lot. I remember failing in my third, fourth year of business and entrepreneurship because I was chasing everything. Oh, let me try e-commerce. Let me try this business. Let me try that. Where it's if you just focus on one thing, you could go into it so deep or you can have success. You don't need 5 different things to make
100%. The thing about books, man, that I love is you're reading a book from someone that has so much wisdom, someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s, that's been through what you want to go through, right? 100%. So it's dude, rather than even hiring a coach, mentor, it's just read a book. That's the first. I think everyone should start by buying a book for $20. After that, if you still want more information, then hire a coach.
Thing is, nowadays, technically, you could have mentors for free.
Yeah.
You got YouTube University, you got books.
100%.
So the information's out there. It just depends how hungry are you to actually 100%. Get that information.
It's when people come to me, hey, can you coach me? I'm like, well, I could coach you, but did you even put any effort in to learn about real estate wholesaling? Or, for you, it's probably Airbnb. I was like, do you have any understanding of what it is?
Yeah.
No. I'm like, then, why are you coming to me? You got to put in the effort first.
You could at least get basics. Yeah. You can get it down.
You got to get the basics down. You got to try first. Once you fail 2-3 times, you're like, I failed. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do have a little bit of capital. Then hire a coach.
Yep.
I don't think anyone should hire a coach right away. Yep. First, give it a try. See, if you could do it yourself, that's great.
Yep.
But if you want to scale and take it to the next level, that's when I think you should hire a coach.
100%. 100%.
Even when I tell students, I'm like, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Once you fail a few times, or if I have students that come to me that aren't students, are like, oh, I bought 2-3 deals. I'm like, these are horrible deals.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. Just give them tips. I'll give them tips. Yep. Until I'm like, okay, you know what? I think you're ready for the coaching.
Yep.
I see that you have, that grit. You have that work ethic. Why don't you come join me? Come join my team. Yep. Let's make something happen.
100%.
I like working with those people. They are committed. Yep. And they just keep showing up for themselves.
The thing is, if you go deep into something and you actually put in effort, you're going to keep going. When I was trying to get into Airbnb, if I just watched a few YouTube videos, I would have stopped. But because I was already deep into it, I bought courses, I bought a coaching program. My first unit wasn't successful, but because I already knew I invested a lot, I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to make this work somehow.
Yeah.
But if you just watch a few YouTube videos and you don't invest your time or energy or money, you're going to quit.
As an Airbnb expert, is there any myths in your field or industry that you wish that would go away?
I think the biggest one is when you see those videos Airbnb is dead or it's going to die out. At the end of Airbnb is just a platform. The real business is short-term rentals, which has been existing for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
No matter what, people are always going to be traveling for short-term rentals, whether it's for business, whether it's for family pleasure, whether it's for events, whether it's for concerts. Short-term rentals is not going to go anywhere at the end of the day, no matter how long it is. Airbnb might switch up. The model might change. 5 years ago, you can have a property in Airbnb and you could take iPhone photos and you can get booked out. Can you do that today? No. So the model might change a little bit, but in terms of short-term rentals and Airbnb, not going to go anywhere. It's a billion-dollar company. 100%. They've existed for 15 years. They're a billion-dollar company who runs ads. I'm pretty sure they know more than us. They're not going to spend millions of dollars or whatever they're spending on ads if they didn't believe that that people are gonna still rent Airbnbs.
100%. One thing about Airbnbs, they don't own any Airbnbs.
Yeah.
They're a SaaS company.
Yep.
They own the software, the platform.
Yep.
Same thing with Uber.
Exactly.
Right? They don't own any cars. So, are you looking into any software businesses?
I'm not.
Something with AI.
Yeah.
That's the hottest thing right now, bro.
AI is definitely the hottest thing. It's funny enough. I literally bought the upgraded version of ChatGPT, which I think is $200 a month or $200 a year.
Okay.
And you could do a lot of stuff with AI. You can even
presentations.
Interesting. You could put your reel in there, and it'll spit out the whole caption.
No way.
So
that's awesome. That's awesome. I gotta try that out.
Yeah.
I have the upgraded version, but I'm paying like $20 a month.
Maybe that's the one I have. Okay. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe it's like $200 a year or something.
Maybe, okay.
Yeah. I had a presentation made by them.
Yeah, so it's fire.
Yeah, it's fire. Bro.
There's so much things. Even like Airbnb, realistically, someone's like, yo, what's the seasonality of this market? Type it ChatGPT, it'll tell you.
It'll probably tell you like what's the best market to get into.
Why is it the best? What seasonality is the best?
How many beds and baths should I get?
There's so much stuff. I make my listings through ChatGPT. Setting up titles, descriptions, 20 minutes, boom, in and out.
I use a lot of ChatGPT.
So it's powerful.
100%. All my captions are made by them.
Right? 100%.
I got a few like images being edited by them.
Yup.
Yeah, man. Sometimes this is an inside thing, right? I'm married. I got a wife. So sometimes when I'm talking to my wife and she's arguing, and I'm just like, well, how do I respond to this? I'll even give that to ChatGPT, like, figure this out. Yeah. So like my wife's going back and forth, and I'm like, you better fix my relationship. And then you got ChatGPT saying some smart stuff. I'm so sorry. I care for you. I have feelings. I'm just like, this is like for my personal thing, right? But if you have a girl that you're trying to win over,
or flirt or something.
Dude, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, nah.
So rather than saying, hey,
you can send a screenshot.
Hey, what's up? What you doing tonight? Nah. Tell us.
It shows you options.
You gotta try that out. You're a single guy. You tried it yet?
I've tried it.
You tried flirting with a girl using ChatGPT?
I've used it as like just to see what it does. It can spit out some options that you might not think of.
True. That's crazy. That's game right there. That's game.
That's crazy.
That's game, bro. That's game. And
AI is the future.
AI is the future, bro. I'm trying to get into some AI things. We integrated AI to some of our companies. Mm-hmm. I have a call center, and anytime a call is done with the seller and the cold caller, the ChatGPT, we just put the voice recording in there. It'll give me a description about that conversation, so that way I can give that to my clients.
That's fire.
And it comes up to like as an acquisition, right? As a closer, you're looking at it like, okay, what was this? What was the summary about?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Boom. Then you have better
fire. Like you use Phantom. Phantoms with like Zoom. No, Phantoms with Zoom, where like you do a Zoom recording, and it'll summarize the whole Zoom what it was about. So
yeah, they have a lot.
It's crazy.
I heard of Phantom Wallet.
Yeah, but there's Phantom for like Zoom. Like it will, you record the call, and it'll spit out what was the main summary of this call.
Oh wow.
So you have team members, instead of you watching a 50-minute recording, it'll bullet point everything what was on this call.
I feel like there's a lot of softwares out there. We use something similar. I don't know what the name is, but
it's crazy.
My team, integrated all that stuff. But I was like, oh, cool. I want to see how we could bring more AI to the other companies.
Yep.
What about you? Are you bringing a lot? Like any AI to Airbnb?
To Airbnb,
you said the listings.
Yep.
You said using it for listings.
Listings, market research. Even if we gotta like remove reviews, like how to go about it that way.
Smart.
Guest messaging. So yeah, you can use it for a lot of things.
That's awesome.
Quite a bit.
I feel like a lot of people that are listening, either they want to get into Airbnb or they already do Airbnb. Mm-hmm. So what tip do you have for someone that's already doing Airbnb? And then give also a tip to someone that's just getting started.
So for someone that's already doing Airbnb, the biggest thing shifting into like 2025 and beyond is going to be more of like, it's going to be doing everything professionally. Like you can't have the average beds, no TV in the bedroom, no nightstands. Like the basic stuff doesn't work anymore. So like you have to go, you're going to have to spend a little bit more money on furniture now.
Can't be basic.
Yeah, like basic stuff doesn't work anymore. So you got to go above and beyond. You got to actually set up nice things. You got to go after the amenities. You got to know how to really deeply go into market research, knowing how to actually price your units. Like I tell most people, everyone's worried about the best market. And I'm like, yes, that plays a big factor in doing Airbnb, but it's like half the job. If you don't know how to hire teams correctly, if you don't know how to make a proper listing, if you don't know how to price your unit and actually understand like dynamic pricing, like you could give me the same property in the same apartment building, same 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and someone who's never done Airbnb give us the exact same property. I promise you 99.99%, I'm walking out with making more money every single month.
Because you know the market.
Even though we're in the same property. So everyone's like, hey, what's the best property? I'm like, if you don't know how to run the business, I could give you the best market and you might not make money.
No, makes sense.
So and someone that's maybe looking to get into this, it's like what I said earlier, like you got to learn how to get educated. It doesn't matter which way you use, whether you use the YouTube, whether you use Google, whether you hire a coach, just figure out on how you're going to get educated. And then actually just start taking actionable steps. Like, don't worry about how do I hire my team if you don't know how to do market research or figure out how to get business funding.
No, makes sense.
So focusing on like actionable steps is what's super crucial. Like I was just talking to one of my students They're like, how'd you get to 90K a month? I'm like, I took step one, which was getting my LLC created, which you need to do.
Yeah.
So 100%. I think that's the biggest thing for most people. Is like they look at step 10, which is like, yo, just focus on step 1 and 2.
Yeah. Now you can't focus on the finish line when you didn't even start yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about drive? I want to talk about drive, right? What drives you and keeps you going when things get tough?
So honestly, what drives me when I'm like in my low moments is number one, I put my head against the wall. I'm like, what else am I gonna go back to? I don't got a college degree. I've already failed a bunch of things in the past. So
you might not have the college degree, bro, but you're doing better than everyone out there that has one.
Yeah, so it's just a different perspective, but it's like, I guess what drives me is like making sure, like, eventually for me is like my main goal and purpose for me has always been like, I want to make sure I have choice in life. I want to make sure my family's good. I can provide for the people I want, and I can make a positive impact. If I could do those 4 things, like, I'm good. So those are like the main things that drive me.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, what drives me right now, bro, is I think for everyone it's family.
Eventually, yeah.
You know, I feel like
for sure.
No, before family, bro, it's money. I feel like for
which money, but it's like, why do you think it's money though?
Bro, every single person wants to get rich.
But why?
Because they want the cars, the watches, the lifestyle.
But why do you think they want that?
Freedom.
Why do they want freedom?
Why doesn't anyone want freedom?
So you know why I'm asking that, right? There's a book that I read that when you tell someone why do you want something, until you ask them 7 times, that's when you get to the real why. So when you're like, someone's like, I want to make more money, that's not their why. Oh, I want to have choices. Why do you want choices? Because I want to provide for my family. Why do you want to provide for my family? Because I want to feel good. So it's like, until you ask someone 7 times their why, you don't actually figure out their why.
Let's try that. Because when I got started, right?
Because you said money, but that's no one's why.
No, man.
Because money doesn't do anything.
When I didn't have money, when I was getting started, it was like, dude, I just want to get rich.
Okay, but why did you want to get rich?
Because I wanted to get rich.
No, but why?
I wanted to get rich because I want to do whatever the F I want to do, whenever I want to do it, and you just...
So yeah, so you didn't want to get rich. You wanted to do whatever you wanted to do, when you wanted to do it, with who you wanted to do it with.
But I wanted the money so I could, you know...
To do that stuff.
Yeah, to do that stuff. You need money.
Yes, you need the money.
If I want to travel, I need money. If I want to drive a supercar, I need money. If I want to have a nice Rolex, you need money. You know? If I want to take care of my family, you need money.
Basically, you wanted choices in lifestyle.
Yeah. I feel like...
That's for everyone.
That's for everyone. That's what I'm saying. When anyone that I feel like... And this is not just like me. Anyone that I talk to, I'm like, what do you want to do with this? Right?
Yeah.
But I just want to get rich. I'm like, dude, we all just want to get rich. You know?
Exactly.
That's like, I feel like every single person, bro, that gets into business. They want to get rich. I feel like it was for... Was that for you?
It was.
For you?
Yes,
I feel like
but
it's for everybody, bro.
In the beginning, yes, it was like, I want to make money. But as I start making money, I'm like, you have a good feeling, but you don't, like even yesterday, right? I'm not going to go into numbers, but like I had a pretty decent day, like multiple high 4 figures. And I'm like, I didn't feel any...
Don't lie, you had a 5-figure
Yeah,
day.
I had nearly a 5-figure day. But I didn't feel like that special. Like, I didn't get super hyper. I wasn't like, yo, it was crazy. I was just normal. Like, yo, I'm working. I literally started work at probably like 9 a.m. Went until like 10 p.m. And you know, after that, I was on like different calls, like with you, other guys. Yeah. So like, I didn't stop working. I'm like, it feels good, but it's just money's gonna go into a bank account.
When you first got started, though.
Yeah.
It was about money. Afterwards, yeah, even 100%. For me, it's not about money anymore. It's about purpose, right? Yeah. So it's like, but everyone that's listening, I feel like that doesn't have money, they're doing it for money.
Yeah. But the reason they're doing it for money, I think, is like it comes down to because they want to have choices.
Yeah.
So
the money allows to do
choices.
That.
Yeah.
Just choice. Yeah, that's what money.
So like people don't really want money; they want choices. Yeah. But money allows you to have choices.
Yeah. Money allows you to do all that.
Yeah.
Thing is, you know, people say money's not everything or money doesn't make you happy. What do you think about that?
There's a famous quote by, I think it's Zig Ziglar. Money isn't everything, but it ranks there with oxygen. So you need it.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, it's not everything, but without it, you can't do nothing.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, if you want to eat, you need money.
Wolf of Wall Street. It's like, I'd rather be a poor man. No, I was a poor man and I was a rich man. But I'll choose rich every fucking time. Yeah. Because you could do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. Right? So it's like, I love that. Yeah, like you throw the fucking gold watch fucking in the crowd and he's just like, you know? Yeah. Wolf of Wall Street shit's crazy.
So you can't do nothing without money.
I heard they're making a second one. They're making a second Wolf of Wall Street. That's going to go crazy, bro.
Crazy.
So okay. But, you know, I want to ask you this one last question, brother. If this were your last podcast you ever did, what would you want to leave the audience with?
I would say the biggest thing is like, whatever you want to chase, you have to go after, because if you don't, you're going to regret it. And regret's probably one of the worst feelings to have. Like anything that I've ever wanted to do, having regret is like a shitty feeling. Like there's this saying that I think it is like, I would rather try something knowing that it might be possible for me to make that happen than not try something and then have it in the back of my mind like, damn, what if I did try and it worked out?
Do you have any regrets?
I wouldn't say I have any regrets, but there's definitely things that I wish like, damn, I should have just went after at that point.
What are some things?
There's things that...
Talk to me, bro. Talk to me.
I don't know if there's anything in particular.
Drop the sauce.
But...
we're going to figure out who...
like, moving out. I wish I would have moved out earlier.
Okay.
Like, when I was 24, I was making some money with crypto. I had stuff going. Instead of waiting for, like, yo, I should get the full approval and wait on everything, I feel like I should have made my move to already been out. And I feel like that would have leveled up me faster because, like, me knowing I've been out in Florida for the past 6-7 months, it's leveled me up. And I think, like, that's another thing I would tell people is, like, especially if you're an entrepreneur that's not in an entrepreneur household, get to a city that motivates you and inspires you, that you can be by yourself, and I promise you leveling up is way faster, and it's a lot easier.
Before this podcast, me and him, we sat in my Lambo, dropped the top, cruised around. He's like, dude, you got to come to Florida. Yeah. And he's convincing me why. He's like, dude, people are just depressed here. Look around you. I was like, what's around me? He's like, bro, everyone's just depressed, you know? I was like, and then he was telling me some statistics. He's like, bro, people have more vitamin D in Florida, you know, and then they have like deficiencies here, you know, because there's not enough sun. We're in the Midwest.
The whole vibe, bro, it's different.
Vibe, yeah.
Like I'm telling you, if you get to Florida or like a nice motivating state, which Chicago is nice, but bro, I'm telling you, you'll get to like where I'm at. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel different just being there, like having a 100%. Car there, driving, rich area. It's a different vibe.
100%.
Compared to this.
100%.
Really different.
Thing is, Illinois has rich areas too.
It does.
You know, so it's like for me,
every place has money.
100%. So it's like if you're like south side of Chicago, west side of Chicago, yeah, you know, even like towards the north, Chicago-ish, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like in like Illinois, you have to be in like Oak Brook.
There's nice suburbs.
You gotta be in like Northbrook. You gotta be in Glencoe. Like when I drive around there,
it's nice.
Dude, everybody got a Lambo around there.
Okay.
You know, when I was in Glencoe, the starting house just to get a house there, it's $3 million. That's the starting price. I saw houses for like 20, 30 million. I'm like, 30 million for a house?
So let me ask you, like, do you feel like environment plays a big factor?
100%. That's why, you know, I lived in Skokie all my life. When we were in Chicago, I used to live in Devon for like the first 8 years. But it was like, I was like, yo, I got to get out of here. And, I was thinking about going out of state also, you know, going to Florida. But like, I have my family here. I got my business here. That's one thing I was like, you know what? Let's see if I could find, you know, luxury here. You know, if I could find like-minded people here. And that's when I went to Northbrook. I was like, yo, Northbrook, just a vibe there. You know how you were
different
like,
from
the vibe here around Chicago, I understand why it's dead.
Yeah, okay.
But like vibe in like Northbrook, Glencoe, these suburbs.
Glencoe, yeah.
Bro, you drive around there,
you feel good.
And even the people that I meet there, like I'll go for a walk there with the wifey. We'll just like, hey, let's go for a walk. You know?
Better,
like,
okay.
Dude, the people that you meet, the conversations you have, people are just nicer there.
Yep, okay.
You know? So it's like, I feel like every place
has areas.
Yeah, it has areas. You'll get the vibe, but you got to be in a certain area.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, brother. Man, it was a pleasure having you on.
Sir.
Where can they find you, bro? Hit them with the socials.
So my main place that I'm the most active is Instagram. It's just Azim, A-Z-I-M. My first name, Daanish, D-A-A-N-I-S-H. And then on YouTube, Daanish Azim as well. So that's where you can find me.
Guys, make sure you check him out. Follow him. This guy is a legend.
Let's get it.
And guys, if you like this podcast, make sure you like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.
Let's get it.